I understand a lot of people saying that they think this thing is going to be interesting for a week or so and then it'll probably die, right? I can totally understand that, but I'm interested. I'm on board. I'm excited to see what it's gonna bring. It's gonna be something a little bit different. We know that it's 3-minute matches, but they did actually give us a little bit more information than that. If you want to get an opportunity to watch this show, you need to go to X. So you need to go to Twitter, you need to go to X. That's where this show is going to be streaming exclusively. So that's where you watch the show, over there. But there was a little bit of a blurb which got released about 12 hours ago. It says, buckle up for WWE Speed airing exclusively on X. Kick into overdrive with WWE Speed, a unique squared circle competition airing exclusively to X, premiering as part of WrestleMania week. The fast-paced show will begin with a tournament to crown the inaugural WWE Speed Champion. The 8 superstars competing have just 3 minutes to conquer their opponent and advance to the next round. WWE Universe, start your engines for WWE Speeds. Now, the reason why I read that out is because I think there's a few details in there which are quite interesting. For starters, we know there it's mentioned it's an 8 superstar competition. So there's 8 superstars involved. It doesn't name them, but we know some of the matches that have been recorded. So it gives us an idea as to who's going to be in this competition, right? 3 minutes, and that's interesting because originally it was 5 minutes. One of the very first images we saw, it said WWE Speed on the Titantron, and then it had like a 5-minute countdown. Well, now they're saying it's only 3 minutes. So that's something that's been amended and adjusted. And it says they've got 3 minutes to conquer their opponent and advance to the next round. That sort of implies that it's a knockout tournament to me. That sort of implies that it's going to be winner goes through, loser is out. That's advancing to the next round, right? So it says it's going to be fast-paced show, which will begin with a tournament. So begin with a tournament to crown the inaugural WWE Speed Champion. So it seems like we're doing a tournament. We're going to crown the champion. And then I don't know what we're doing, but we've got a champion. And then we're going to be up and running with, I don't know, whatever this is going to be. Is it going to be its own division? Is it going to have its own roster? Like, we've got people from Raw, we've got people from SmackDown, we got people, I think we've got some people from NXT. So it's a very interesting concept. You've got 3 minutes, and my understanding originally was that if you won, you got 3 points. If you lost, you got no points. And if you drew, you got 1 point, right? And there was going to be a league table. But it seems like they're not doing that, right? For this very start bit, this first bit. Seems like they're not doing that for this. Instead, we're doing a tournament, which is going to be like a knockout tournament. So it's all a little bit confusing. I do understand. But bottom line is that we have a new show. We're going to have a new championship. We're going to crown a new champion. We've got an 8-man tournament, 3-minute matches. It's exclusive to X, and it starts in 55 minutes. So it's pretty exciting, isn't it? I mean, I know it's an easy thing to be down on, right? It's certainly not going to be the most prestigious title in the world. So it's an easy thing to be down on. But I'm excited for it. I like it. I like trying new things. So let's give it a go. Alan, shout out to you, my friends. Hope you are well. Days, you are really working all the time. Gotta do some myself. Just wanted to say hello, Alan. Shout out to you, buds. Yeah, this is middle of the night for us, which I've had about 50 minutes, a little 50-minute nap. So I'm feeling okay, but yeah, I'll be very excited for this to finish and then have a proper sleep. And then we'll be back, baby, with another Unseen. So we'll be doing that. I've just been trying to catch up a little bit with what's been going on X and in the world of wrestling. The Rock sending out a message. He wants to buy someone's painting that they've done. And he said it's a picture of him like with Cody, and Cody's bleeding. And he said he's going to buy it and gift it to Mama Rhodes. So some fun stuff happening on social media at the moment, as always. Days, I am watching you on my curtains because I have a projector. That didn't make any sense for a second then, my friend, but shout out to you. Yeah, I mean, look, I wanted to start early because I don't know how long this show is going to be, right? They're 3-minute matches. We don't know how long an episode is. I don't know. Is it half an hour? Is it going to be 20 minutes? Is it going to be an hour? Maybe it's going to be 10 hours. Maybe it's going to be a 10-hour show, right? Probably not. But I had no idea how long this is going to be. I know when it starts, which it starts in 53 minutes. So I thought, well, it makes sense to just start an hour before. And then that way we can at least have a chat about WrestleMania. We can have a chat about Raw. We can have a chat about whatever it is you want to have a chat about. And then we can watch Speed. So that was kind of my thought process. Andy said, are you looking forward to WrestleMania on Saturday night? I'm looking forward to WrestleMania on both nights, my friend. I think it really will be a fantastic show. I know that people are a bit down on the stage because it's been constructed and it's not the most adventurous, but it's not about a stage, is it? Who cares? The stage, you know, it's one of those things where it's a nice talking point, it's a nice feature, but we ain't tuning in for the stage. So yeah, it's one of those where I think that this is going to be hopefully the end of Roman's reign. I'm not a Roman hater, right? I really respect what Roman's done, but I just think that it's time now. I just think WrestleMania 40 it's the place to do it. I know a lot of people are like, well, we could keep going and all that kind of stuff. And well, yeah, you can keep going. You can always keep going. But at some point, you've got to draw the line. At some point, you've got to say enough is enough. At some point, you've got to say, okay, we can pull the trigger now. So I think for me, I'm at that point with Roman. I think Roman has had an incredible, one of the most historic title reigns we will ever see. One of the all-time great title reigns. But I think WrestleMania 40, I think what with Cody losing last year, I think the time's right for him to finish his story. And finishing the story is so powerful as well. I know there's an argument about, well, should he finish his story? But because if he finishes his story, what else is there? And we've spoke about that quite a bit on the streams. And I'm very interested to see what a Cody Rhodes, who doesn't have the burden of trying to finish his story, because he's been trying to finish this story since the age of 8, right? I think it was 8 when he saw that picture of his dad holding up the WWF championship, right? And so at that age, he said, I'm going to win that belt and I'm going to put it in my dad's hands, right? So he's had this burden since he was a young boy. And I want to know what it's like to not have that burden. You know, I want him to achieve his dream. And then I want to know how does he carry himself? How does he motivate himself? What challenges await? To me, the idea that he finishes the story and then that's it, his career's done and it's all over, like, there's so much more that we can do. There's so much more things to explore, you know? I'm quite excited for that next chapter in the story, if you will. He might finish this story. Well, I'm excited for him to pick up a brand new book then and start a whole new story. So, yeah, I think it's time. WrestleMania 40, the anniversary show. feels like the right place to do it. So yeah, no, I'm massively excited. I'm excited for both nights. I think the card looks good. I wouldn't say the card looks perfect. I think that a lot of us would probably change the United States Championship match. I don't know that any of us fantasy booked Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Logan Paul, right? I'm not massively down on it, but I don't know that any of us in our wildest dreams kind of came up with that as the match we wanted. I think a lot of people wanted LA Knight against Logan. And then I think in regards to the Intercontinental, I mean, I didn't think we were doing Sammy against Gunther. And actually, you know, before all the Brock stuff, we weren't. We were going to be doing Gunther versus Brock. So we know this wasn't a match that we were going to be doing. And again, I think a lot of people wanted Chad to be in that position. So, you know, it's one of those where you can go down the card and you can pick it apart if you so want to. But it's WrestleMania 40. I mean, it's one of the most exciting times of the year. I think that just sit back, just enjoy whatever we get. Just enjoy. I think it's very easy, you know, very easy to fall into the trap, certainly in this day and age, of mentally kind of getting yourself in a situation where you really want something, and then when you don't get it, you get disappointed, right? Because we do so much fantasy booking now, and we have our own ideas as to where we want to go, that I think it's so easy for it to not go that way, and then you get a bit down and you get a bit disappointed, like, oh, that's not the stage that I wanted. That's not the championship match that I wanted. That's not what I wanted Bianca Belair to be doing. That's not what I wanted LA Knight to be doing, right? And I think you've got to be really careful of not allowing all of that stuff to ruin your WrestleMania weekend, because this is WrestleMania, and it's not just any WrestleMania, it's WrestleMania 40, right? It's special, and this is a special time as well. So enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy it. Make sure that you don't get bogged down with, oh, I didn't want this, I didn't want that. You know, I think that's an easy trap to fall in. I've fallen in that trap many times, many times. But I'm not falling into that trap for WrestleMania 40. I can't help but think about WrestleMania 30 and just how amazing that was. I mean, like the end of the streak and Daniel Bryan winning, and like, you know, him beating Triple H going into the main event, and it was just such an incredible event, and it didn't outstay its welcome. It felt quite tight as a show. Opened up with Hogan being interrupted by Stone Cold, who was then interrupted by The Rock, you know, and it's just like, oh my God. That was one of the greatest WrestleMania moments, and that's how the show opened. So I think back to that, and I think, God, it's been 10 years since that. And it's incredible to think it's been 10 years. But it was so good. And I had so much fun with it that I'm really hoping that WrestleMania 40 can, like, deliver something similar, you know. It's Bryn again, said, as much as it is exclusive to X, I would love for it to be occasionally, brackets not always, be defended on pre-shows or events like SummerSlam and Payback. A simple 3-minute matches would be great. Well, I think what's exciting is that if this works, nothing's off the table, you know. If this works, then we can do anything. We can do whatever we want, you know. X have got the exclusive for this show, but if this works, then we can really get stuck into defending that belt in lots of other different places and whatever. So yeah, I'm really up for it. I'm really up for seeing where this leads. I know a lot of people have said, oh, it's just going to be the next 24/7 title. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it could be. It really could be. But I don't know. I'd rather not go into it with that attitude. I'd rather not go into it with kind of that kind of defeatist, it's all rubbish kind of attitude before we've even started. But I get it. I get it. A lot of stuff does not kind of pan out the way that you want. I'm trying to sign into X and it just will not allow me to sign in. Verify your ID by using your username. I might have to watch it on here instead. Right. Daze, my favourite WWE Hall of Famers are Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan. Well, that's because you know wrestling. That's because you know your stuff. And they are awesome. Hey, oh, there it is. There it is. I'll show you. I've got a screen. Yeah, look at this. Whoa. Whoa. I've not seen this before. I don't really get what all of this means. I mean, at the moment, it says it's 1 minute, 2 seconds. So I think there's just a trailer there at the moment. But it said, watch as your favorite WWE superstars clash in spectacular showdowns designed to deliver maximum excitement in 3 minutes or less. Get ready for a year-round thrill ride. Year-round thrill ride with new episodes every Wednesday. Well, what does that play? I mean, I'm not going to play it on here because last thing I need is to get a copyright strike. But what does that actually play? Is it just the... Oh, it's the trailer. So it's just the Corey Graves trailer that we've seen before. But, yeah. So if you want to know where I found it, by the way, over here in my What's Happening bit, it appeared there. So, like, it's just here at the top. Look, WWE Speed Wrestling starts 11 a.m. What does that mean? What does that mean? Starts 11 a.m. No, it doesn't. Doesn't it start midday? What the hell's going on? At the moment, like, if I click on that, if I click on this, do it again. Well, it won't let me because this is what I'm on. I'm on this thing here. Post about speed. I love speed. I'll go and get a load of people going, are you watching it? Where are you watching it? I'm going to get that now, aren't I? I should have put a message out and go, oh my God, this is the greatest show I've ever seen. Oh my God, this is like the Attitude Era all over again. Ah! Where are you watching it? Where are you watching it? Secret. I bought Austin Theory's old wrestling ring, said Trey. Wait, did you? Me and my buddies have got a wrestling show on my channel. It's hilarious. Well, you bought Austin Theory's old wrestling ring. That's very cool. That's very cool. Shout out to you, buds. Keeping grassroots alive. There's a few channels that do that sort of backyard wrestling thing. It's good. Yeah, very cool. Days, greetings from Poland. Mama6. Shout out to you. Love Poland. Been to Poland many times. Been to Open Air Festival a few times. That's in, you might not have heard of it, Gdynia, Gdansk, Sopot. I've also been to Wrocław a few times. These are all places you've probably not heard of. I know lots about Poland. But no, joking aside, it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. It's a strange country in the sense of, like, well, it's strange in the sense of it's not what I was expecting. I sort of went there with, well, you know, without being disrespectful, not the highest of expectations. I really didn't know what to expect. And I was just stunned by, like, the history, the architecture, the beauty of the place. It's amazing. Poland's amazing. So, yeah, big up Poland. How do you watch Speed on X? So, well, I mean, I don't know is the answer. The only thing I can tell you is that when you go onto your account, over on the right-hand side where it said what's happening, at the very top here, look, we've got Julia at the bottom, right? She's a wrestler coming into WWE. She's going to be amazing. Tony Khan, he's not a wrestler that's coming into WWE, but I'd love to see it. Then we've got WrestleMania 40. It's a big show that's coming up this weekend. Then we've got Tribal Chief. And then here we've got WWE Speed. So if you click on that, you get this. Right? That's better. Starts at 5 p.m. That's better. That's better. I'm in the UK. So that might be a bit weird for some of you. But I'm in the UK, so right now it's 20 past 4. We got 40 minutes to go, and then it's going to be time for Speed. So, yeah, 40 minutes. Speed will begin, and I'm guessing it'll just pop up here. Right now, this is sort of like where the trailers live in at the moment, so, yeah. Oh, hang on. What's all this? Oh, there I am. Oh, what? Shut up. What's this? Is this where people... Is this its own feed, or what's all this? Not sure what Speed is, but King Ricochet had better be the winner. Yeah, that's a good point. May as well check it out, I guess. 40 minutes to go for Speed, said Gareth. Can't wait. I want to see how it goes. Let's go, Speed. Look at us, Speed fans. Yeah, there we are. Look, yeah. Oh, man. Look at that. I got 15 likes. God, I'm trending. Adam J. Gatsby. I've got 2 questions. Is the Stanford correction being... What the flip? Sorry, what? Sorry, what? Say what? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's where you go anyway. Is Omos part of Speed? No, but they do have some big people. Like, Odyssey Jones is part of Speeds. I'm very excited about that because I don't know if you've seen Odyssey Jones before, but he is cool. He is a big boy, strong boy, and he's got like a real size to him. It's like a mountain of a man. And we didn't see loads of him in NXT, but what we did see... I really liked. He was like a big bubbly personality. Honestly, he feels like he could fit in with the New Day, but he's a monster as well. He's a big guy. So we've been waiting for him to like pop up and do something somewhere, and here he is. So it's funny because one of the things that I'm interested in about this show is how is it going to work in the sense of, is it all going to be high flyers? You know, you think about Speed and you think about Ricochet, Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, Andrade, Legado, LWO, Dominic Mysterio, blah, 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 right? You don't really think about Omos, and you don't really think about big, you know, Bronson Reed or whoever. But why can't they be part of this? You know, 3 minutes, you got 3 minutes on the clock. Okay, you might not be the quickest superstars, but good luck someone beating Omos in 3 minutes. Good luck someone beating Big Bronson Reed in 3 minutes. You know, it's one thing to maybe a bit slow because you're a bigger person and, you know, you might struggle to get the win, but you can flip that round and say, well, how are they going to get defeated? You know, trying to finish a match within 3 minutes is going to be difficult. And again, creatively, it's going to be interesting because you're going to have to really think outside the box. Like, how are you going to win a match in 3 minutes? We don't tend to see matches ending that quickly, right? Unless you're Maxine Dupree. So how are we going to do that? How are they going to achieve that? Is it just that we're just going to go a million miles an hour? You know, that would be one strategy. Obviously, another strategy would just be that sort of Brock Lesnar German suplex, bang, bang, bang. You just like smash them into the ground. And then as you're coming up to the end of that 3 minutes, pin them and hope that you've done enough. You know, that would be another strategy. Just pummel them, absolutely pummel them. So I'm very interested to know, what does an episode look like? I don't know who's on commentary. I don't know how many matches we get in an episode. I don't know who's going up against who, what the tournament looks like. I don't know that we'll see what the championship looks like, but if we do, that would be awesome. that'd be really interesting. Just anything really. Just anything. I'm just show me what's this new idea that you've got. What's this new idea? Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. Jordan said, check MJF's tweet. Check MJF's tweet. Is he watching Speed? Guys, MJF is watching Speed as well. It's a very exciting time. Hang on, let me move this over here. Let me do that. I need to... It's all a bit awkward. I need to be watching it on a different device, really. Let's do that. Let's do that. Right, you want me to go to MJF? Where are you? MJF. Here we go. MJF, first you steal my glorious idea to lash Cody. Now you try to cop art from my ex. I'm a fan, but please leave me be, Dewey. Is that his ex, is it? His ex is the one that painted that picture? Naomi. I like art. All right. Well, there we go. Well, it turns out the woman that did the painting, that's a bit random, isn't it? The woman that did the painting that The Rock is buying is MJF's ex. I don't think he knew that. I don't think he knew that. It's funny because I didn't know that. And we actually spoke about it on Unseen, which is our daily video that we do, where we look at what's going on social media and online exclusive interviews and all this kind of stuff. But, yeah, well, there we go. MJF has spoken. We haven't heard from him in a while, so that's fun. Right, let's go down to here. What have we got? Carlin, 1985 Gareth said, Daze, have a great stream. Thank you, my friends. And Thomas Morehouse, shout out to you as well. Here's Aaron, look. He says, I'm going to Philly tomorrow. I love WWE Speed. Yes! Yes, Aaron. Let's go. It is an amazing show. WWE Speed is my favorite ever wrestling show. In fact, we should type that now. Let's type that. Oh, yeah, here we go. OMG, WWE Speeds is literally my all-time favorite wrestling show now. There we go. OMG, WWE Speed is literally my all-time favorite wrestling show now. Great stuff. Boom. I mean, even if that just confuses one person, I feel like my work is done. You know? Even if that just confuses one person, they really don't know what's going on, and they're like, hang on, the show started. I just need you to know that it just one person that kind of falls for that, it will allow me to sleep better when I do actually finally get to sleep. I'll drift off that little bit quicker, you know. So yeah, really excited. Right, let's go. In the end, I just called him a dumb. I'm sorry, James. What? Matthew said, Daze, the last time Uncle Howdy appeared in WWE was with Hobby Lashley. Hobby Lashley. Oh my God. Guys, what's Bobby Lashley called when he's doing arts and crafts? Hobby Lashley? Yeah! Guys, what's Bobby Lashley called when he goes fishing? Hobby Lashley? Oh my God, I love it. You came up with the punchline to a joke. You just needed the actual joke. Oh, Hobby Lashley. Love that. Unfinished business with Bobby. No. Do you know what? I was thinking about this. And I think I found something good. I said, right, what I want to know is, what, when we do get started with Uncle Howdy and Bo, the one thing that I want from it is I want to know what's the goal, right? Seriously, what's the goal? He's coming back, right? Because he wants to carry on his brother's work, but what's the purpose of it? And I was trying to think, like, what's the goal? What's the target? And I think I know what it should be, because I think they mention it in the documentary. And by setting what I'm about to say as the goal, it's an achievable goal, right? Very achievable. And it makes sense because it's in the documentary. And they say, like, what it is that, you know, they wanted to work towards. And I think the way I would book it is I would bring him back and I would have Bo say that there's unfinished business. There's unfinished business, and he needs to finish that business, basically. There's something that he needs to achieve, right? And he says, in order for me to achieve it, I can't tell you at this stage what it is, but I need you to join me on this journey, right? And I think the fans would buy that. I think the fans would want to know, and there'd be a lot of speculation as to what the journey was, but that's a good thing, as people speculated about what is it, what do you think it is? Because, you know, that all of that stuff is very Bray, isn't it? Kind of trying to figure things out, you know? So he gets up and running, and he gets into some feuds, and he gets a family, and he brings people in, and we tell some stories and all this kind of stuff, right? And you're never quite sure as to what we're working towards, but we can keep referencing it, like, throughout this journey, that we're on track or we're not on track or whatever it might be, right? But you can just keep giving little indicators. And like, by the time you get round to WrestleMania, next year, then that's when what we've been working towards comes to fruition. I don't know quite how you would do it, but I know the one thing that they wanted to achieve, and that is they wanted to work WrestleMania together. That was their goal. That was the one thing they wanted to do. If you watch that documentary, Bo is in absolute bits, right? Pretty much throughout the whole thing. But he says, like, to come back and work with his brother and to, like, be by his side, and for them to, their goal was always to work WrestleMania. That was their goal. They always wanted to be at WrestleMania. And they both have done it individually, but they never did it as a team. And they were on the verge of doing it. They were going to do it. It was going to be Uncle Howdy and it was going to be Bray, and they were going to be together, and they were going to do WrestleMania together. They were going to do it, and then Bray went, didn't he? He passed. And so we never got it. Because we were meant to get Howdy and Bray, and they worked together with the Pitch Black match, but they didn't get to WrestleMania. And so I'm not sure quite how you do it, but we need to get Uncle Howdy to WrestleMania, and we need Bray to somehow feature in that match. It could be, you know, like the hologram when Paul Bearer appeared on the edge of the ring, and we had the hologram. We could do something along those lines. It could be that we have Bray on the screen. It could be that we have someone dressed in the Fiend costume, or however symbolically we can have Bray's presence at WrestleMania, right? However we symbolically can achieve that, we need that moment where it's Howdy and it's Bray, and it's sort of they're having that moment, even though Bray's not with us. And I know a lot of people will say, yeah, but he's not really there. But I think the beauty of that moment, the symbolism of that moment, of them actually sharing that moment together. I mean, we don't know what happens when you pass. We don't know if Bray's looking down or what's happening. I like to think he is. So the beauty of getting Howdy to WrestleMania, right? Because it's a very achievable thing getting him to WrestleMania. But obviously, you need the right story. You need to have the right pieces in place. You need to know how you're going to bring Bray into that moment. I'm not saying that you do a tag match or anything like this, but there must be a way of kind of fleshing it out so that it makes a lot more sense, if you know what I mean. Like, it looks a lot more poetic. In my mind, because I was desperately trying to think, what is it that they wanted to achieve? What is he coming back for? And you can say winning a title, but did they want to win a title? Why did they want to win a title? You know, why did they want to win a title? What were they trying to achieve with that? I'll go with that story. I'll go with any story that I'm told. But I think it would be good. It would be nice if we had already been told what they wanted to achieve. And I think we were. I think in that documentary we were. I think that they came back and they... If you've seen the Bray documentary, when Bray gets fired, he works with Bo on a unseen pilot where they go around and they explore mysteries together. And Bo's like, you know, we were just having the time of our lives and like exploring these mysteries together and doing this TV pilot. It meant that we knew that we wanted to go back to wrestling and we wanted to work together. And so Bray goes back. Bo goes back to work as well. Bo is Uncle Howdy and they are together. I mean, what an amazing thing for them to do before Bray passed. I mean, Bray could have passed and they might never have got that chance to have worked together, but they did work together as Bray and Uncle Howdy. So this is what I'm saying, and the goal was always to get to WrestleMania, and they didn't. So why not set that as your target? Why not set that as your goal? Or it can even be a stop on the road, you know? It can even be like not the final destination, but something that needs to be achieved, you know? So yeah, I was kind of thinking about it. It popped in my head the other night as I was like just thinking about like, oh my god, he's coming back, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I really want to see that. I want to see that moment. I want to see Howdy in the ring at WrestleMania. I want to see something symbolic for Bray, and I want to see that moment. I want to see something, you know. But Desmond said, my favorite WrestleMania moment is Kofi Mania. Matthew said, Wyatt Six faction of Howdy, Cross, Scarlett, Paul Bearer, AOP thoughts. Howdy, Cross, Scarlett, Paul Bearer, AOP thoughts. I don't really have any thoughts, to be honest. I mean, you can... Karrion Kross feels like a bit of a leader to me, so him sort of falling in line behind Uncle Howdy, you can do it. It wouldn't be a problem. I don't know that I would choose him. AOP, I think, are pretty good shouts, though. I mean, they're falling behind Karrion at the moment, so they could fall behind Uncle Howdy. That seems fine. Paul Bearer's no longer with us, of course. You could always represent him symbolically or, you know, with whatever, but I don't know. I think you'd probably go with someone that, you know, can work. Because I already think we're symbolically going to have Bray's presence. So I don't think we symbolically need Paul Bearers. Paul Bearer would feel a bit out of place for me, to be honest. So I don't know about Karrion. I really don't know about Paul Bearer. AOP would be fine. Scarlett, you could, if she wasn't with Karrion, you could put her in. But I think I'd be looking for, you know, those people that kind of embrace that darker side. Tatum Paxley's doing some interesting work in NXT. Tatum Paxley has kind of embraced a sort of darker side. I would probably take Scarlett out and put Tatum Paxley in. I think that could work. I think I'm trying to think who I'd put in as like. I mean, Gacy would feel like a good fit. Gacy, I think, would be very interesting to put in. So I'd probably take Scarlett and Carrion out, and I would put Tatum, Paxley, and Joe Gacy in. AOP I'd keep. I wouldn't have a problem with keeping AOP in there. Uncle Howdy. I reckon you've probably got something quite interesting there. I feel like you probably are going to keep Alexa in, and I'm sure that Braun would want to be a part of it as well, you know? So, yeah, I mean, there's a few bits to get your teeth into with that, so do with that what you will. James said, I'm sure there'll be a moment when the Fireflies come out at Mania. Oh, definitely. There should be. Absolutely should be. Yes. Born, shout out to you, said, I could see the US Express doing their speech at the Hall of Fame, and then at the end, lights go out, and then there's a nice tribute to Bray. That speech will be difficult, says Born 96. Yeah. For those that don't know, that is Bray's dad and Bray's uncle. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think that a lot of people were down on the fact that he didn't go in this year as the headliner, and I am okay with it. I said from the start I'd be okay with it. I think that it was... You didn't know if the class had already been decided, right? Because I don't know when the classes get decided. So if he didn't go in this year, I always thought, well, there's a chance that the class had already been sorted. So he can always go in next year. But I think actually when you watch the documentary and you see just how raw, and it really was raw, the emotion in the family, like how cut up they really were, I think then you really understand that, like, to ask them to help induct Bray and everything that would come with that, the media that would come with that, the talking about Bray, the thinking about Bray. I mean, I'm sure they do that anyway, but everything would just get turned up to 11 if you was to induct him into the Hall of Fame this year. I think the feeling probably was it's always going to be raw, but it's probably too raw at this point. I mean, it's one of the most emotional documentaries I've ever seen WWE produce. I can't even think of another documentary that I could tell you that had that same level of emotion in it. Obviously there's documentaries where people have cried before. There's documentaries that have dealt with difficult moments before. But this, I mean, this just really felt a different level. I mean, everyone was crying all the time. It was just, and then you see the kids and even stuff where in the lighter moments they start talking about John Huber and his passing, and you're like, oh my god. It's just, there was people that said they couldn't sit and watch it all because it was just too much for them. And obviously a lot of people have got things going on in their lives as well, and I'm sure it triggered thoughts for, what people were going through in their own lives. I'm quite fortunate right now in the sense of, I'm healthy, my family are healthy, so for me, I'm in a good space where I can watch that in one go. I can appreciate it's emotional and it's difficult, but I'm able to watch it, yeah? But I think if you're someone that's going through some stuff at the moment, I totally understand. Or if you just idolized Bray, I mean, for me, I enjoyed Bray. He was one of many superstars that I've enjoyed whilst I've watched wrestling. So for me, again, I was able to watch it and enjoy him for what it was. But I think there's a lot of people out there that wrestling for them was only Bray. Wrestling for them started and ended with Bray. And so you can imagine how it will have affected those people. So, it's one of those where very intense, not easy at times. I thought they really focused on his passing, and the detail they went into during that part of the documentary was quite intense. I mean, you hear about Bray's mom falling to the floor, Bo getting the strength to pick her up, the doctor, what he says when he tells them the news that Bray is no longer with them. I think we know the exact words, which is, it's bad news. he's gone, is what the doctor said. I mean, the level of detail, I don't skirt over it. The level of detail was staggering for certain aspects of it. So, yeah, I mean, what a piece of work. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. But I just think when he comes back, we could come up with some rubbish, right? We could end up overthinking it, and we could come up with, like, I don't know, whatever. I need to know what we're working towards. I want to know what he's coming back for. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it. What are we doing it for? What's the end goal? Or what are the goals that we're trying to achieve? What are we working towards? What do you need me to support you on? What is this journey? I hope we get that. There's so much goodwill towards Bo Dallas and the whole family that they can't really do any wrong. But I think for this to really hit, and for this to really be something that they're hoping it's going to be, that's what I would be looking for. What's the journey, please? Where are we going? Why are we going there? And if we get that, I think we could have something just so special. Mitchell said it would be cool if they used drones as Fireflies. Yeah, that would be fun. They did use drones. Not really as Fireflies, but they, those like drones in the sky and they do shapes. Do you remember when we were at Saudi Arabia and the drones did the Bray logo? That was cool. It was a in the sky massive Bray Wyatt logo using drones. We didn't really then scatter them and have them as the Fireflies, but I feel like we were in the neighborhood of doing that. So it's a good idea. We could definitely do that. So, yeah, Bray always will be missed. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next for Bo. He'll have everyone's full support. Jessica, shout out to you, said, I think it's wonderful that The Rock gets to induct his grandma into the Hall of Fame. He's paying for a fan's ticket and travel to the show, but he is a decent heel. It's hard for him to not be a nice guy. Yeah, he's yeah, it's true. He does keep doing these nice things. I mean, he was singing to that Make-A-Wish, there was a Make-A-Wish kids that was ill, and obviously he put that clip out of him singing and whatever. And I think if you're blessed like what The Rock is blessed, he's worked hard for it, no denying that, and he's very skilled and talented. But I mean, he has got no money worries. He seems to be in a healthy place. I mean, he's kind of like everything's fallen well for him, and he's put the work in for that. But it's great to see that he is paying it back, if you will, So, yeah, it's what he should be doing. It's what you would like to see, people in his position doing. But respect, nothing but respect that he hasn't kind of lost sight. I know he has faced his criticisms. To be honest, I don't follow him that closely. Outside of WWE, there's plenty of Rock films I've never seen. But I know that there's been a lot of criticism, him and Oprah and all that kind of stuff. Maybe it was justified. I genuinely don't know. As I said, I didn't follow it. I don't really follow that stuff outside of wrestling. But all I know is the stuff that I see and the things that he's been doing recently. He's been doing some good stuff. He's a stand-up. He's a swell guy. He's a stand-up guy. John Elite said, is there anyone else in wrestling that has got a creative mind like Bray? That's a difficult one to answer, to be honest, because I think that yes would be the answer. I think that Bray was very creative. I think that he was doing things that we'd not seen before. I think he loved films. I think that in wrestling, there is probably a lot of people that, given the opportunity, given kind of the chance to go away and create a character, create a world, they could go off and do that. I mean, I'd like to think that I could do that. And I'm sure many of you would like to think that you could do that. I mean, would I be able to nail it like Bray would? Would I be able to create a character and a world that could grab the imagination of people in the same way that Bray did? I don't know about that. I mean, there's no way of knowing about that, is there? I don't know. But I think that we all have that ability, right? It's like being a songwriter, isn't it? I mean, Taylor Swift can write amazing songs. You know, I could write a song. Would it be as good as a Taylor Swift song? Probably not. Probably not. I could write a Firefly Funhouse episode. I could create a family and do all that stuff. Would it be as good as Bray's? Probably not. Probably not, right? So Bray was massively creative, but it's a hard question to answer because he had a freedom that not many wrestlers got. The Husky Harris character didn't work, so he went back to NXT, and Triple H gave him freedom to create what he wanted to create and be the person that he wanted to be. And he took inspiration from Papa Shango. He took inspiration from Waylon Mercy. He started and Cape Fear. All of this is in the documentary. And he created what was the vehicle to get him to where he ended up. You know, he created the Bray Wyatt character. Obviously, that wasn't the Firefly Funhouse at the start, but it was the Wyatt family. And, you know, off we went. And then, you know, I think that didn't quite pan out. Things started to fall apart a bit. And then when he came back with the Funhouse. So massively creative. You know, a real genius when it came to, I think, being able to sort of reinvent as well. You know, if you think that he started the Wyatt family, that kind of petered out. He had to go away and come back with something else, and he comes back with the Firefly Funhouse. I mean, it's one thing to have one hit. It's another thing to have 2 hits, 3 hits, you know? It's another thing to be that consistent. So I think for me, Bray's genius, you know, wasn't so much the Funhouse, and it wasn't so much the Fiend, and it wasn't so much Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. I actually think Bray's genius was the fact that he was able to keep on delivering these great characters, these great stories. I think the fact he was able to keep doing it again and again and again, that's his genius to me. That's the thing that stands out to me. I think that a lot of people could have, you know, could strike gold randomly, or maybe even on purpose. Perhaps you've got an amazing idea and you think, oh my God, this would go so well in wrestling. Okay, so you do that, but then what's your next idea? And what's your next idea? And what's your next idea? Because the genius of Bray Wyatt was he was able to keep delivering. I mean, what I would say is his most recent run, when he, you know, obviously passes, he comes back with Howdy, and Howdy didn't really land for me, to be honest. It didn't really land, but we never got anywhere with it, you know? I think we started going with it, and you know, it never played out, so you can't really judge it. It can't really be judged. So I feel like we know another Fiend was on the way. I'll tell you what, though, what I will say, that Royal Rumble character, you know, in the Pitch Black match, that's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. At the end of the Pitch Black match, when he's standing there and he's like glowing because of the ultraviolet light, yeah? And he puts on a different mask, like a smaller mask. He's not the Fiend in that moment. I remember the theories at the time being, is this Uncle Harper? Because there was an Uncle Harper that was trademarked, and there was an Uncle Howdy that was trademarked. And we know what Uncle Howdy was, but we don't know that we were ever introduced to Uncle Harper. But what is that character at the end of the pitch black match? Because the match ends, he seems to change and put a mask on, this like thinner mask like this, and he becomes, I mean, the guy is, you know, just swole. He's absolutely huge in that moment, and the ultraviolet just looks so amazing. It's actually one of my favorite Bray moments, is at the end of the pitch black match when he's standing there and he looks, I think during the live stream, I'm like, he looks every bit a world champion right there. He looks like every monster in every kid's nightmares. He's just this monster giant guy, and he's got this mask on, and he just looks like he's gonna like rip everyone apart. It's amazing. So even in that more recent run, whatever that character was, it's one of my favorite Bray moments, Bray characters, and that was from the pitch black match. That was just months before he passes. And then you've got the Funhouse, then you've got the Wyatt family, then you've got the promos, then you've got the Fiend, then you've got the puppets. For me, each one of those individually is an idea that people could have, but to have that level of consistency, wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think the documentary really captures that. So we probably haven't spoke about that documentary enough, actually, and really dug into it more. Because there's just been so much stuff that's been going on, you know. That documentary dropped the same day as the CM Punk one. So we've spent quite a bit of time talking about the CM Punk thing. But, God, no, there's so much that we could get our teeth into in that documentary. maybe once WrestleMania's been and gone, we can sit down and go, right, should we talk about that documentary now? Right, this is what I thought. And then, boom, off we go. Right, it's so weird having a WWE show live on Twitter, said I Am Your Father. Well, joke's on you. It's actually on X. 4 minutes. Yep. Daze, Gulak has responded. Oh, I've not seen that. Thank you. Let's have a little look. What has he said? What has he said? Has he is it just that little thing? Backstage at a WWE event in 2022, I saw Ronda talking with a group in the hallway. I stopped to say hi and shake all their hands, and in an attempt to shake her hand, I accidentally touched her drawstring. It was a complete accident, and one that I had apologized to her for the mishap. Short, sweet, interesting. So that was 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. So it's really interesting, actually. That's a whole different conversation. But I feel like I've been shouted at, but on both sides with that, you know. So I had someone have a go at me for even doing the video because I was accused of blowing something out of proportion, right? Now, I don't agree with that criticism because I think that I make it very clear that it's an accusation. I make it very clear that this is a developing story, that it's not a story that I see going away today. You know, Drew Gulak's come out and commented on it, like giving his side on it now. So I don't regret making that video because, you know, hours and hours and hours ago, I knew that this was a news story and that this is something that, you know, here's a bit of information that you're probably going to find useful today because a lot of people are going to be talking about this today. So I don't regret making the video, but I have been accused of blowing it out of proportion, all this kind of stuff, right? And then, funnily enough, I got accused of not being sympathetic enough with Ronda for what she had gone through. And I got accused completely on the other end of the scale, right, of not being like, I can't remember the exact wording, but it was like, you know, it's clear that Drew did this and it's clear that this was sexual assault. I can't believe that you're sticking up for Drew. You know, you should be condemning him and all this kind of stuff. I mean, you're getting it from both sides. It's one of those real sensitive issues. It's one of those real sensitive topics, and I knew that at the time, right? I think I even say it in the video. It is sensitive, and I know it's sensitive because I'm the one that's going to get it in the neck from both ends of the spectrum, and I did. So, you know, it's one of those. I don't regret doing the video. I think it's a talking point. It's you know, it's something that you probably need to know is going on, and short and sweet response there from Drew Gulak. So definitely we'll see the fallout of that. I don't know. I mean, like, if he's telling the truth and he went to shake her hand and he just accidentally caught her thing. I mean, she didn't really paint that picture, to be honest. I think she said she was walking past. She was walking by. So it's sort of he said, she said kind of a thing, you know. Right, Speed is here. Right, let's go. We're up. Okay, so we've got we're underway, and okay, right now we've got Ricochet against Dragon Lee. Ricochet, Dragon Lee. We got the clock in the corner. Oh my god, we're watching Speed. Ah! Shall I put a tweet out now saying this show sucks? Changed my mind. Oh, he went for a German. Ricochet flipped over, landed on his feet. Super kick there by Dragon Lee. Over the top, lands on his feet. Fast-paced stuff here in the middle of the ring. Good work by Ricochet. Picks up Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee lands back elbow. So it's in a SmackDown ring. You can tell this was filmed at SmackDown because the... Oh, my God. Reverse Rana. Against the ropes goes Dragon Lee. Big clothesline by Ricochet. Oh, I love how the color changes when you get into the final minute. I love that. So you've got the clock in the corner. It's counting down. And as you get into the final minute, like the clock in the corner turns red. That's a nice touch. But yeah, this was recorded on like a SmackDown. Oh... 2 count there for Dragon Lee. Sit down powerbomb by Dragon Lee. 2. Shoulder up by Ricochet. Shoulder up by Ricochet. Dragon Lee back in the corner. We got 24 seconds left to go. Is up. His Ricochet has got Dragon Lee. He's got him on his shoulders. Oh, kick to the head. We're down to 10 seconds. Oh, double knees. Can he get the pin? 1, 2, 3. Wow, with just seconds left to go, Ricochet pins Dragon Lee in a really fun match. Right, guys, we are rating every match, so we need to rate that. What did you think of the very first WWE Speed? Oh, so he's progressed. Now we've got Axiom against JD McDonough. Oh, guys, I love Speeds. Speed's good. So, Axiom against JD McDonough. Oh, what? Boom. What's that mean? It's ended? Is that the end of Speeds? That's it. What match? Is that the end of Speeds? We got one match. How do I get out of this thing? John said, Ricochet versus Dragon Lee might be the best 3-minute match I've ever seen. Okay. Has it ended? Where's the speed show gone? It's sped off. Is there no more speeds? I don't understand. Join us next week for the next match. Axiom against JD McDonough. I should be asleep. I should be asleep right now. I've come to watch a show. A show. They said an episode, didn't they? Yeah, an episode. What's an episode? 5 minutes. I thought we were going to get at least half hour. I thought we'd get half an hour. I thought we'd like do video packages where we explore who the wrestlers are and then we'd do a few matches. It's one match. What the flip? What's this? Oh, I tell you what, the only person more disappointed than me right now is Dragon Lee because he's already out. He just got eliminated from this thing. He's the only person that can be more disappointed. Do I have to do a show review? Do I have to? Should I do a review? Guys, I'm going to do a 20-minute review of Speed. I'm going to do a half-hour review of Speed right now. It's ended, didn't it? Oh my god, we didn't even get a title reveal. It wasn't, mate. There wasn't even time to do anything. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if I just started this straight? Guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh god, middle of the night for me. This is. Oh god. Oh, well, here we go. Speed, it's just starting. Okay, it's ended. All right. Okay, well, thanks a lot for joining. Thank God we started an hour before. Oh, my God. Thank God we started an hour before. It's wrestling fast food. It's quick. It's greasy. It's fun. But in an hour, you're going to be hungry. Mate, I don't even know that I don't even feel like I've ate anything. Don't even know that I've had any food. Oh my god. Call it unspeed. Well, it's sped off, isn't it? Oh, they did us dirty, man. They did us dirty. They could have told us, yeah, if you're watching this WWE, you did us dirty, right? It's a dirty trick this is. Because you could have told us it was only one match. You could have told us that. Tune into you. They used the word episode, didn't they? They used the word episode. Who has a 4-minute episode? Oh. Oh, and do you know what? I sent that tweet out, didn't I? Oh, I look like an idiot now. I sent that tweet out saying OMG. Oh. Oh, I ain't taking it back now. Look at this. Look at what I tweeted out because I'm a flipping idiot. Look, 39 minutes ago, OMG. WWE Speed is literally my all-time favorite wrestling show now. Great stuff. Wow, that aged like milk, didn't it, eh? That went well. Oh, my God. Has it launched already? Ah, got ya. Got ya. Look at all these people. I can't watch it. Did it start? I'm a little tinker, aren't I? Causing trouble in the wrestling world. Yeah. Well, you got to get your kicks somehow. Because flipping Speed came and went. Ryan said, I must admit I felt bored, so I watched some of Daze eating cake. Oh, do you know what? It's funny. That really hurt my neck. That video of me eating that cake really hurt my neck doing that. The problem was the cake was so big that when I went to eat it, because I thought it'd be funny to eat it in one go, yeah? Or at least try and get as much as I could. And as I did that, all my muscles here, I like really strained them. Anytime I think about that cake video, I just feel pain here. I went OTT. I think in the video, the thumbnail, you can see these, like whatever this is, whatever this bit is, whatever's under here. You can see it like trying to escape my body. I'm tensing that hard. Yeah, whenever I think about that cake video, that's what I think about, pain. I just think about pain. Every time I think about Speed, I'm going to think the same thing. Dylan said, legit, 4 minutes sleep. That was a weight of nothing. Mate, I went to bed. I'm not like, I did, so I I did NXT, then I did the Unseen video, then I saw all the drama with the Drew Gulak stuff, so I ended up doing that as a separate video. Then I uploaded Unseen and worked on all of that. Then there was a couple of hours to go, so, you know, I went off and had like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever. Then I got up and checked on the dog, made a coffee and sat down and all of this. Mate, that thing's lasted 4 minutes. I should be fast asleep right now. I've said before, like, my body is like 12 hours out, really, from UK time. So we started this stream at 4. That's like 4 in the morning for me. This is right now. This is like 12 minutes past 5 in the morning for me. For 4 minutes. 4 minute show. And do you know what's even more heartbreaking? Because I didn't know where to go. You know, I was on what I thought was the right page. And it was the right page, but it didn't. The show didn't like automatically start. I don't know if it did for you, but it didn't like automatically start for me. So even though the show was like 4 minutes long, I missed about a minute. I missed 25% of the show because it didn't like automatically begin. It's a flipping disgrace, honestly. I wonder. I mean, like, because it's, yeah, you probably can't. I was going to say, because it's X exclusive, if you show it on here, not the whole match, but just bits, like, I wonder if it would flag, because it's not on YouTube. They'd get you somehow. I was going to show you some of the moments from it, like, yeah, this is really good, whatever. Look, Speed is here. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at these jokers. WWE Speed is here 25 minutes ago. I mean, what I will say is it had nearly 300,000 viewers, according to this. Look. King Ricochet battles Dragon Lee in an intense match. In this series premiere. And look at them. They don't even tell you that it's only like 4 minutes long. There's no little clock in the corner or anything. Here's Triple H, look. 21 minutes ago. It's a race to the pinfall and a chance to advance towards becoming the first ever Speed Champion. Speed premieres today at 12 PM exclusively on X. And, well, there you go. That's all you need to know, really. One post and one picture can spoil a whole Speed episode. A whole episode of Speed can be spoiled with one image. That can't be right. There's next week. Speed, tune in next week. Speed. I mean, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not sure we're going to do weekly episodes of this, yeah? You're going to have to forgive me for that. I don't want people telling me that I'm not committed or that I'm not a real wrestling fan because I'm not willing to do live streams for a 4-minute flipping show, right? But Speed next week, Axiom against JD McDonough. There's the table. So Ricochet, Dragon Lee, Ricochet advances. So we know we've got Axiom, JD, and then we need to find out the other 4 people. I think we've got an idea on that, but I won't spoil it because, well, that'll ruin 2 weeks worth of shows, won't it? I still, not long now. Look at this knockout. Not long now until Speeds. Will you be watching? Although, look at this. Look, Finn said this match actually cooked. It was a good match. King Sympathy said, when is Speed happening today? I've seen a couple of people saying it already happened. Evan there said, what will go down? I mean, people were excited. People were like, look at this person. I've seen enough. Speed is better than Dynamite. I saw people saying, thank God we've got real wrestling arrive on a Wednesday now, right? And I don't think these people knew it was going to be a 4-minute episode. Oh, God. So good. WWE Gareth said, WWE might have something with Speed. I can see it bringing in a new audience. Yeah, but they're not going to stick around because it's only 4 minutes. Oh, mates. Hi, everyone. Waiting for Speed. Oh, let's say hello to Mitchell. Hi. Loser. That's because you're a loser. Oh, I mean, look, we could sit here and just send messages like that to people, or we could just wrap this baby up. Mitchell said, I could watch speed matches on member streams. Mate, I could watch speed matches on the toilet. That's where I could watch them. Could watch them anywhere. You could watch... You could watch a whole episode of Speed whilst you're about to sneeze and then actually sneeze, and by the time you've gone through that process, the episode will have ended. Where can't you watch Speed? It's 4 minutes long. Oh. Scott said, yeah, full stream with halftime scores. We do need halftime scores. Yeah, absolutely right. Do you want to know something even more depressing? Do you want to know something really depressing? Something that I'm really going to have to spend some time thinking about? This stream, I can see the numbers for this stream. This stream is probably going to end up with as many views as our actual NXT stream. And we've been streaming for 1 hour 17. That ain't right, is it? How's that right? How's that right? How can me streaming for over 3 hours attract the same amount of interest as us doing this speed stream for a show that lasted 4 minutes? And it seriously looks like it's going to end up getting about the same views. What's this about? I've said before, YouTube just messes with your head, man. It's not about working hard. It's about working smart. It's not about doing endless hours and hours and hours and hours of streaming. It's just about, I don't know, doing the things that people are interested in. And apparently people were interested in Speeds. Will they be interested, though, now that they know it's only 4 minutes? That is actually a very interesting question. I'll tell you what is interesting as well, though, is the fact that you can share this. I mean, like, I can like that and I can share that, right? Which I've done. And I have literally just shared episode 1 of Speeds. I can't do that with Raw or SmackDown or NXT, but I can share, guys, here's this week's Speeds. You know? I feel like a dealer. But that's kind of interesting that this match can be shared around. That's sort of interesting. I know it's a match, but, you know, that could be an episode, couldn't it? I really think they need to flesh it out, though. Although, I suppose I'm a bit torn, really, because it did what it needed to do. You got a match, something to watch on your lunch break. Do you need it to be half an hour? Do you need it to be a half-hour episode with lots of matches, or do you just do what they're doing? Get in, get out, you know? Another thing, if it's only going to be one match, why did they drop it from 5 minutes to 3? You could totally do a 5-minute speed match. What? Did they think that was too long for the one match show that they were putting on? The 5-minute time limit? Oh, God, we can't do that. Oh, God. No one's going to stick around that long. For 5 minutes. 5 whole minutes. Drop it. Drop it. I'm amazed they didn't just do a minute. But it was originally 5-minute time limit. Now it's 3 minutes. And, yeah. Well, there we go. That was Speeds. We need to put the Speed thing on Unseen videos next week. JD needs the win. Right, let's end the poll, shall we? We'll look to wrap this baby up. Because then I can... I mean, what's lovely is that I can go back to bed. Although I did just have a coffee because I thought I was going to be up a bit longer. So I'm all caffeinated up now. Like, it's just a nightmare. Right, speed match. All-time great, good, bad. Let's end it and see what you lot thought. So, the very first speed match, WWE Speed. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'll watch it next week, but obviously we're not going to stream next week. I think this week was, you know, what people know. I think that I don't think there would be as much interest for next week. There we go. 92% good. So I thought it was. I probably thought it was a bit better actually than that. But 92% good is how that's going to come out. So it's going to go in that big block of good. You know, below the great. Watch Rampage. That'll put you to sleep. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it. We need to get some storytelling in these 3-minute matches. That is true, actually. That's a really good point. There was a lack of storytelling in there, so they need to do better. Guy at Random said, Daze, I've been a fan for a while, maybe 2016, 2015, originally from the Toy Hunt videos. Wanted to say keep up the good work and cheers from Italy. Oh, Guy at Random, shout out to you, buds. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I feel like we might be reaching a few people that maybe don't or can't join us for the streams late at night because this is not a time we normally stream. But there are toy hunts coming up, but because I am off to America and my only focus is to do toy hunts. So once we get past WrestleMania, I think this weekend's WrestleMania. Next weekend is UFC 300. And then I'm literally off to America. I think the Wednesday. We'll still be doing streams and and unseens and things whilst I'm over there. So as I said, I'm still working. I'll still be doing streams. I'll still be doing unseens. But it's just in the daytime I'll be out doing toy hunts. So more toy hunts on the way. Musically High, shout out to you. Tyler, shout out to you as well. I think people didn't only rate the match, but the whole show says I Am Your Father. That's probably, yeah. There was a lot of similarity, wasn't there, between the match and the whole show? Probably like a graphic difference. I think the graphic that showed the table, the tournament table, and the graphic that showed the match next week, that's probably the only difference between the match and the whole show. So, yes. It's too short to get the flow of the match because once they get into the flow, it's already over, says Jay. Jim said, I can't wait for the speed match type in 2K26. Oh, could you imagine that, actually? That could be kind of fun. Daze, it's an episode of the Bump and Mania set reveal tomorrow, said Daniela. Trini said, wait, does Triple H do this to everyone? Like, does he do this at home to Stephanie? Does he not let her finish either? 3 minutes and see ya. Well, I'm sorry that you wasn't satisfied, Trini. I was very satisfied. So 3 minutes is enough for me, love. It's all I need, yeah? So I'm sorry if you wanted to drag it all out, but no, get in, get out, off to the pub. And that's it. We're done. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. I'm going to go off to bed and then I will get up and work on Unseen. I also need to work on setting up streams and sorting thumbnails and all that stuff. So, yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. I know that this was maybe not what we were expecting. It was not what I was expecting. But I had fun and had a good time with you guys, as always. So, have a great day. Enjoy whatever it is that you're going to be up to. And I will see you guys later for Unseen. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.